Manzanares. Did I pronounce it right, I hope? And their attorney, no? Help me if I didn't.
Manzanares.
Thank you. And Chris Carlton and their attorney, Wes Hutchens. Thank you for being here. It's really only in about the past 20 years that fathers, that anybody gave a damn about the father. It was always the mother, wasn't it?
Previously, that's true, yes.
Well, Chris, you live in Pennsylvania. You fought in Iraq for your country, and you've been trying to get custody of your daughter for over 3 years.
3.5 now, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, even the audience is saying, what? Tell us about it, Chris.
Me and her mother was in a relationship. She got pregnant. We've known each other since high school. It was just difficulties during the time she was pregnant, and she just, how would I put it, she disappeared in May 2010, and came back 34 days later, when she was like 8 months pregnant. She came back not pregnant anymore, and told me the child was dead. And what made it even worse is she said it was dead, and it was my fault because I stressed her out, which wasn't true, of course. I helped support her all through the pregnancy. She came back and said the child was dead. Not only did she try to keep me from finding out how the child died or perished, but she actually went even more extreme and filed a protection from abuse order, so I can't find out what the birth certificate, the death certificate, or anything.
How wonderful that this child has a father who cares. In so many cases, the father doesn't care.
Sure.
You know, this is unusual, don't you think?
Have you been in touch with the adoptive family? Have you?
Under Utah law, I am not recognized as the child's father because what Utah does with their laws is they encourage the female to fly over to Utah to strip them of their, say if the child is born in Pennsylvania, the child will be a Pennsylvania.
So Robert, you live in New Mexico, but this all started in Colorado, and you've been in and out of the courts. What happened that made you realize that your own child was adopted without your permission?
Well, I didn't know. The mother and I separated, and she was discussing adoption. I said from day one, absolutely not. I will not allow my child to be adopted. No, we were not married. It was through her coming back from a family trip out to see her ill father in Utah that she came back 8 months pregnant with no baby. So and I found out from a coworker, and it's just, you know, just rips at you, devastates you, because I'm wondering where my daughter is. What hospital is she at? Why can't I see her? She's in the ICU because she's premature.
I mean, have you been able to see your daughter?
Yes. My case actually was one of the few that's been ruled on by the Utah Supreme Court and overturned. So now I'm battling legal strangers to my daughter for custody of my own child.
So you don't even have custody, even though it's been overturned?
Not yet. We're still going through a custody case right now.
Does this happen in other states? We're talking just about Utah here.
It's very unique to Utah, Barbara, in terms of Utah actually legalizes fraud, if you can imagine that. A birth mother can lie, misrepresent, deceive, and defraud a birth father, but it's not a basis to overturn an adoption. You can sue to get money damages, but you cannot sue to get your child back. That's written into our laws, and these are the laws that we are trying to challenge. We did undercover interviews with agencies that said, as in Chris's case, just go home and tell the birth father the baby died. And so it's horrific that what some of the adoption agencies are doing to entice birth mothers into Utah, give them $3,000 or $4,000 cash once they place their children for adoption, and say, oh, you can just spend that on anything you want.
Did these mothers have any reason to think that you didn't want to be involved as fathers or as dads?
No, I told the mother from day one. I even filed a paternity action, paid child support, and I told her from day one I want to be a father to my daughter, and I'll do whatever it takes.
Well, Wes, you filed a lawsuit against the state of Utah on behalf of 26 fathers.
Yeah, we started out with 12 on January 22nd of this year, and since then the phone's been ringing off the hook. We get 1 or 2 phone calls every day.
Will they get their kids back?
We certainly hope so.